Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Magician with a Microphone podcast. Today is April 7th, Thursday, but you guys are not going to be hearing this on Thursday. You're going to be hearing this like Saturday or Sunday. Because I still have to upload my WrestleMania recap podcast that I started on Tuesday and wasn't able to finish. But this one's going to be really cool today. I'm going to be having Rich DiCarlo back on today. The first time I've had 3 appearances by one person. And today we're going to be talking about something pretty interesting. It's going to be paranormal. It's going to be ghosts, experiences with the paranormal, and a quick background, at least as far as what I know. We do this podcast here in Ansonia, Connecticut. One town over is Derby, Connecticut, which is home to the Sterling Opera House. And that place has been known to have a laundry list of paranormal experiences and happenings there. And there's been a couple of television shows and groups, exploring and documenting what they found. And Rich is going to get into all of that because he was actually involved with it. So, Rich, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, off the bat, I have no idea how to interview when it comes to a paranormal thing because I've never really delved into it. So the best thing that I can do is just to kind of give you the floor and kind of explain what got you into this. How long have you been into this, and then how did you get involved with the things that you got involved with?
Okay. Oh, see, that's a ghost. See, there's a ghost over there. The wind blew it, but I think maybe a ghost. The shadow. That's a ghost. That's a demon. That's first thing is biggest line of crap you'll ever hear. What's a ghost? I have no idea what a ghost is. I've seen paranormal activity. If I grew up with it, I experienced it. What it is, I don't know. There are no experts on that, and they usually silence me, or they try to silence me when I talk about this stuff.
They can't silence you here.
I know, but I do get my message across. So I'm not allowed to play in there with some games and stuff because I have, let's say, a realistic kind of approach to it. I go, if there's a logical explanation for it, please tell me. I'd love to know. I'd love to find out. But most of the time, if something blows over, 99.9% of the time, it's the wind. We'll listen to stuff that I'll let you hear stuff that, unlike other shows where you see on a show and stuff like that on TV, you hear somebody go, "Ah!" and then they slow it down and manipulate, and it says, I'm going to kill you. I have actual voices on recording of the things speaking right to you, and there's, 10, 20 people in the room when this is happening. No explanation for it. We'll call it the ghost, a voice of a ghost, but these things in the opera house were pretty amazing. We'll cover that in a little bit. But let me give it background information on me, so if I'm anything, if you call it an expert, I don't consider myself an expert on anything, but I have experience from when I was a kid. My house was built on a well, and we had a little girl in our house who would haunt our house, and she'd run around the rooms, chase the dog out, and she was accompanied by a shadow. This thing bothered me for years and years. We had a thing that used to knock on the walls. We'd have all the neighborhood come over, and we'd all knock on the wall, and we'd knock back. Nobody's in the house. It's an exterior wall. Nobody knew we were doing this. So we had all kinds of fun things growing up. Just noises. Scariest thing was a single note being played in the piano in the basement. Was it a ghost? I don't know. Could have been a mouse. Could have been anything. But I wasn't about to check it out. But it scared the living crap out of me. So I slept in the bathtub for about maybe 2 years when I was like in 7 or 8 years old, because I was the height of the action. And I had a big giant monkey wrench, and I slept in that bathtub. Because when you slept on top of the stairs, the noises wouldn't happen in a certain spot. And then when the birds started chirping at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was safe to go into bed. So something had to do with the everything waking up. Not a believer in the 3 o'clock witching hour crap, but it did seem to coincide with that kind of stuff back in my house. So anyhow, let's skip ahead. I do have one instance in my family. Again, we had the entire family around the holidays at my house, and this is a we're talking 30 people. witnessing something in the basement of the house. Like we had a whole bunch of lore in the house. We have, things like you have, associated with folklore and stuff, and curses and things. Fine, old Italian, old Sicilian household. We used to congregate in the holidays in the basement. They put the tables together, and the entire family be there at Christmas time and stuff. Christmas, New Year's, big feast. My grandfather, old man, would eat first. The old mafioso guy. He'd eat first and sit there and look at them using the mirrors to look behind his back and stuff. One year, he finishes up and he sits in his chair and watches the family eat. So the family's eating, so-and-so, and I was sitting next to it. It was really cold for one reason, this time. I sat next to what's called a tuffet, or a little ottoman thing, a little cushion. And this thing, when you sat on it, it made noise. Like you can hear the air come out of it. It was really a weird design, 1960s or so. And you sat on it, went, shh, and it pushed down. It was like sitting on a basketball with a hole in it. You heard it hiss and stuff. So anyhow, my grandfather didn't speak a lick of English. This is my great-grandfather, I'm sorry. Grandpa Peroni. So he didn't speak a lick of English, so he spoke a Sicilian dialect, and my aunts and everybody knew what he was saying. So he was going, and I go, what's going on? It was really cold in the corner. I sat at the little kid's table in the corner, and his big cushion chair was behind me. He'd sit and smoke his pipe and look it over. And he kept on saying these words, and he's going, there's a little girl, and she's talking to me. Who is this? I've never seen this girl before. Because we were, outside of my cousin Chrissy and Tina, there was no girls in the family. So we were all there. They were sitting there. And he saw the little girl. And I'm looking at the tuffet, the little ottoman next to me, whatever they call it. And I heard it hiss, and it was pushed down. So there was something or someone sitting on the thing. And I go, I'm pointing it out to the family, and they're just listening to my great-grandfather, gibberish, going, there's a little girl here. There's a little girl here, and she wants me to come with her. And it's, and we couldn't figure out what it is. And they go, my aunts are going, no, you're crazy. What are you drinking? Well, just lay off the wine. There's no little girl there. And I'm looking at the tuffet. I'd never seen anything, but it was during my time of having all the fun sleeping in the bathtub too. I was like 7 or 8, about 7 years old or so. And I'm looking at that. I'm pointing to my brothers. Look at the thing is crushed. It's pushed down. So we're seeing that. Fine. And it just went out without incident. It just started all the aunts and uncles arguing. Fine. All right, fine. So we all had the holidays and stuff like that. And he said, the little girl said, I'll let you go with the holidays. Now you're going to have to come with me. And he goes, I ain't going anywhere. I don't know you. I don't know who you are, blah, blah, blah. So we just let it go off. We didn't think anything of it. So we're home. We go home after the holidays and stuff. I think it was not that night. It was the next night actually, because it was like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and a New Year's Day night or something like that. My father gets a phone call that my grandfather's in the neighbor's yard. And he go, what? His grandfather's in the neighbor's yard. So Grandpa Peroni's in the neighbor's yard. The neighbors are calling and they're trying to talk to him. He won't talk back. He won't say anything. So my aunt's on the phone with my father, and on the phone, the other extension, with the neighbor calling. This is the old day of the old landline. So there was 2 apartments there. So they're on the phone. Grandpa Peroni's out in the neighbor's yard, and he's looking at the garden. He's attending everybody's garden. And he doesn't talk. So they called the police. They called everybody over. The police there was no one there. So we got there by the same time the police got there. And they had to unlock the house. And how do you get out of the house? They had boards on the doorways and stuff. You're talking battening down the hatches. They had, literally, with the locks, in addition to that, they had boards that went over in these big notches, like the old medieval things. And they would have these old boards blocking the doors. Like, how do we, my father goes, how the hell would he get out? Did he climb out a window? What the hell? And they went and checked on him, and he had passed away. So he obviously made the rounds or something. He was dead in his bed at the time of the phone calls and stuff. So that was kind of creepy. Is it ghosts? I don't know. But that's just a freaky thing. And that piqued my interest on this stuff because I'm busy getting haunted and even the term haunted is loose.
That's interesting.
So I'm getting blasted with this crap from all over. So there must be something. But everybody saw it. Everybody was witnessing these things. And it was that kind of opens your eyes to things. So something's going on. So that made my stuff even more scary because like, oh shit, what is this? The whole world I don't know about. So life goes on. we had the things in my house, and let's forward umpteen years to Derby, and we'll fast forward to Derby. I moved to Derby. I bought a house in Derby, and I let the kids pick out their own rooms and stuff. We remember walking in the door. We bought the house, and usually when I sit in the house, I want to be comfortable in the house. And I sat in that house for hours and hours in different rooms. I want the feel of everything. The only thing odd I found, it was a giant cross in the basement in the boiler room. And I was going to take it and toss it out and go, well, let's just think that was here for a reason. I go, let me leave it on the wall. To this day, the giant cross is on the wall in the boiler room. It's not bothering anybody. If I take it away, God knows what the floors are going to open up. I don't know. Do I believe in that? No, but I'm not going to chance it. It's my house. If it's somebody else's house, go for it. So anyhow, my kids I remember opening the door and everybody burst in the house and they all raced upstairs to claim their own room. My son went up to the attic. He wanted this room in the attic. And, I got the greatest room in the world. Got quiet. Then he comes running right down. What's the matter? You pick your room up there? And he goes, didn't say a word. Wouldn't say a damn word to me. So, you look like you saw a ghost, I said jokingly. And he wouldn't say anything. Fine. All right. No big deal. So he picked another room out, and he was fine. He wouldn't tell me for weeks what he saw upstairs. And finally he goes, when I went upstairs, there was a boy. He had no feet, no legs. He was looking out the window. What?
Huh?
He saw a teenager, looking out the window. And the light was shining on the kid, and the kid had no legs. It would disappear. It would fade away. So he had just the top half of a full-body apparition.
Okay.
So he saw that in the room. And I go, well, that's not cool. I never saw anything like that. And I'm thinking, oh, no. So I went around and looked looking up, and I found out, and my neighbor told me, my old neighbor, the old lady next door, and she goes, oh, yeah, that was Patrick Murphy. He passed away in the house in the 1970s. I go, oh, that's pretty cool. And that was his bedroom.
Now, when did you buy the house?
What is it? 1999 or something like that.
Okay, so a decent amount of time since the kid passed away then.
So I found that fascinating. So that was cool. So he in my house, and to this day, I have a train set up there. If I play with the trains or something, I play with the trains. But if I play with the trains, there's no transformers on the train. I leave them disconnected. If I park the train somewhere in the middle, I'll leave it somewhere and just stop. The train will be parked at the train station. There's no power on it. And to move the little N-scale trains, they're going to be derailed. It's not derailed. It rolled. So something plugged in or powered the train to move it to the train station. And it's just fun. No matter where I park it, the train will be at the train station. Just something I have to deal with my house.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's playing with them and he
Well, it's his bedroom, so
puts
it's
everything back.
What else is cool? You got your own. Hey, guy got me a train set.
Yeah, right.
Another issue in the house was Christmas 2 years ago. My wife we all have our designated Christmas stockings. I put all the stuff away, and I put everything in the boxes. And 1 year, her Christmas stocking wasn't in the thing. This was about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So she goes, I have an extra stocking. I put it in. Where's my stocking? She had a silk purple thing with sequins and stuff, like a really gaudy looking thing. And I go, what's wrong with this? I go, it's only going to be one night. What do you care? You're going to wear it around? No. It's going to have the same stuff in it. I want my stocking. You guys have yours. Where's mine? I go, I don't know. I go check the box. It should be in the boxes here, and it's not in the boxes. So, I went upstairs and I go, the hell? I'm looking all over the place and I can't find it. And I went and she goes, I really want my stocking. You don't realize what means to me. I go, really? I didn't know she was busting my chops. So I went upstairs and I go like this. I go, let me try something. I go, hey, Patrick, can you find this stupid stocking? I don't need this shit. And I went in this room. There's a room where it's got no ceiling on it. So it's like a closet with no ceiling. It's a partition in there. I call it the Christmas room, but it's just the attic. And it's a big, well, not big, but it's a nice size enclosure. And it has no ceiling. There's no shelves above the door. It's just a room, and I have the wrapping paper and stuff. And we hide the gifts in there. So I walked in the door after I said this, and the stocking drops right on my forehead. I tossed it right at my forehead, and it hit the ground. I go, holy shit! And I looked up, and I go, wow, chills. The hair on my arms stand up, and I go, okay, thank you. And I walk downstairs. She goes, oh, where'd you find it? If I told you, you're going to probably want to move out of the house. I did tell her later on, so she understands. Well, if I'm cool with it, she's cool with it. So that's pretty cool. So, but that was my last instance then. The train things happen frequently.
See, I would turn that around into something like really funny, because I can see that being some sort of like sitcom if you think about it. You move into this house that's being haunted by this little kid.
Yeah, but they have the Ghost and Mrs. There's a lot of shows. Ghost and Mrs. Muir. What the hell?
And he just like takes advantage of the fact of like all of a sudden he's getting all of like these new presents and he's got toys and stuff now, and he can hang out and probably invites his ghost friends over.
Yeah. But there's also a show on Netflix or something, Ghosts or something.
Okay, yeah.
It's out there. It's been done. And you can't, it's only sporadic incidents. I'm sure if it happened every day, it gets annoying.
Yeah. Well, no, because I could just picture this ghost kid like in your attic. All of a sudden, he goes, "Oh shit, yeah, your train station."
Yeah, but I mean that's it. But that's only one gimmick. You got to have a whole show about that.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty boring, and even life if it happened every night.
Yeah, no, it's true. But
I mean, they have hauntings or let's say activity where you go into and it's the same thing, the same like a recording. But this is what I'm issuing in the house is intelligent, and this crap that I'm going to show you in the Sterling is intelligent too, and I'll show. They know me by name. They know me by had my name. It tells I have had my name called and stuff. It's just freaky.
So I was just about to get into that. So how did you get involved with the Sterling Opera House? I know that you are or were involved with the city of Derby and everything with their Parks and Recs and all of that stuff, right? Like,
I was the Culture Commission, the Arts Council, still with the Arts Council, Culture Commission, Arts Council, Parking Authority, you name it, and I helped out with the Opera House. It was Halloween, I forgot the year, maybe 2000 and something, early 2006, 7, whatever, maybe 8 or 9, who knows? I don't remember the date on that. And I was following the lead of a friend of mine, who was going to contact Harry Houdini. Oh, let me tell you, the Sterling Opera House was built in 1889 by Charles Sterling, owner of the Sterling Piano Company, and basically the thing was built to showcase his pianos. It was an opera house, but the term opera house is used for, everybody thinks, oh, it was all high-class opera and stuff like that. Now, this is Derby. It was never
vaudevillian.
It was vaudeville. It was just basically vaudeville in the old time stuff, minstrel shows and things like that. We're talking old days, 1800s.
I remember when they used to do the tours of it, and it's like you go in there and you would never expect, because, you think of an opera house, the first thing that comes to your mind is something like Sydney or like,
Yeah, well, it wasn't
Carnegie.
They didn't have any movie theaters and stuff. They were in existence, built before that, so you called everything an opera house. And every town that has a train station basically has an opera house. You have a train station, you got an opera house. Shelton doesn't have an opera house because they have no train station.
Derby does.
Think about it, but Derby does. They had the train. And Sonia has one.
Yep.
They had a train station. So
Seymour's got the Strand. Naugatuck
well, that's a movie theater.
Yeah, but still, they
it's not an opera house, but that's different. It was never an opera house.
Makes me wonder then if Seymour at one point had an opera house.
Well, Seymour belonged to Derby.
Oh,
that's the key thing. And Sonia had its own thing. And Sonia and Derby were fighting back in the wee days. And what really sealed the nail in the coffin was they built the big one over there. This is the opera house.
Yeah, because I know Naugatuck used to have one too.
Yeah, they do. There are towns have your train station, and the guys, whoever was the vaudevillians and stuff, would travel on the trains, and that was the same people. So if you had somebody, all the famous people appeared here, appeared there. There's nobody, So you had the biggest draw was, one of the biggest draws, Harry Houdini. So that's where the whole story revolves around Harry Houdini. We gathered on Halloween night. I figured, what the hell? They go, oh, Rich, I'm going to contact Harry Houdini. And we're going to go to the opera house and sit down and Harry Houdini. I go, all right, this would be interesting. I want to see,
which if they did their research, they would have known it was bullshit, because Harry Houdini said specifically he did not believe in contacting spirits.
Yeah, but he did challenge. His challenge was he was going to come back on Halloween.
Yeah.
Somewhere. To prove to his wife.
He said that he would come back Halloween at the Magic Castle in Los Angeles because he built it.
Oh, all right. They didn't know what the hell.
And the word that... He said that if he were to truly come back, he would have a code word that Bess would know. Yeah. Only that she would know. And somehow somebody figured it out. It was the word believe. So now anytime you ever see a seance for Harry Houdini, they're going to say, oh, somebody whispered the word believe. Yeah. That must be him. So, but no, Houdini. Houdini actually made a quite the career out of uh, exposing these guys who claimed that they
The
were
charlatans,
tapping in.
yeah. The charlatans and the...
I mean, he had full gimmicks and stuff. He had like an entire like persona that he would like make of himself, and he would go into these seances and expose the guy and then walk out.
Yeah. But that was the day when that was a big thing. The New Age, then the mystifying shit, and you had flim flam things that taking advantage of people.
Yeah.
But that was the spectacle. Spiritualism came into the being in the late 1800s and stuff, and the opera house came in at the at the end of that shit. You had the death photos. You had to take death mask, death photos. So death was part of life. They knew that, but the mystery was coming back, communicating from the dead and stuff like that. You always had your ghosty thing, your reports of ghosts and specters and hauntings, whatever.
Shadows in the windows.
Yeah, that was always there. But to put there's another layer to the cake, or so to speak. Another layer would be the mysticism part. So that was the charlatans and stuff. But the opera house, so we're there on Halloween, and I'm saying, yeah, out of all the places in the world that Harry Houdini came, he's going to come to Derby. That's a place in Derby on Halloween night this year. Let's go to Derby and give him a real treat.
I cut a hole in their stage. I'll go back.
Yeah, he cut a hole in there. I'm going to cut a hole, but they cut a hole in everything.
Cut a hole in
every stage,
because
exactly. And that was it. They all traveled the circuit,
and it's funny because he performed at I've performed at 2 theaters that he's performed in, and one of them was up in Foxborough, and they've got a trapdoor right in the center of the stage. And I look at it as I'm getting ready for everything, and I look at the theater owner. I'm like, Houdini do that? He goes, how did you know? I'm like, I know my research.
Yeah,
He's like,
everybody has a trapdoor.
Yeah.
Everybody has
just
a trapdoor.
big enough for him, which is why they're so damn small. Because I was looking at the thing, and I'm like, it's like 12 feet by 12 feet. And then people don't realize Houdini was a very small man. He was only 5'2", and that's why he was able to get out of handcuffs so easily.
Yeah, the other one was like the one at well, it's basically the same. They were like three by 3 squares in the floor.
Yeah,
it's pretty small.
Yeah,
but it's the engineering is pretty good. It falls down. It was falls down. It does go both directions,
yep.
But it has boards under it to control the. You can see how it's controlled.
And he would always have an assistant just when he needed it.
So it was fascinating. So we're there on Halloween night. And I got tired. I go, really, you're going to sit here, you're crying, hey, Harry Houdini, you're going to come back? Harry Houdini, they're sitting there for hours doing this, back and forth. So I just I'm going to wander. I grabbed my camera, I started wandering the building. And just I'm not I grew up being afraid of the dark and with all my past and stuff. So I'm grown up and I'm kind of used to being afraid. Now I own the dark. I'm like one of those people that I'll sit in the dark because I own it now. Because I was afraid of it. I got it, So I can walk around the darkest place. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Oh, look, there's a monster there. Yeah, okay. So I can wander. I've been there, done that, so to speak. So anyhow, I'm walking the building, and we did have bumps and stuff in the place, and there was bumps and things going on. But what was it? It was bumps in the night. It could be a rat. It could be anything. So anyhow, I'm walking the building, and I'm up on the 3rd level on the front stairway, and it looks like I just see movement and something darker than the darkness. And the street lights kind of go through you see the light from below. The street lights are below. And it kind of give it a little eerie look and stuff. And you think you're seeing things. So I snapped a couple of pictures and I go, hey, I got a raccoon I thought I had a raccoon on the railing. That's what I thought. Yeah, we got raccoons in here. Fine. Didn't think anything of it. And we went home that night. We never, nothing eventful there. Fine. No. Months later, I just happened to look at the pictures, and I'm looking, and I go, there's a lady standing there in my photo, a shadow of a lady. And these pictures are online. You could probably Google the Sterling Opera House ghost, and you'll see these pictures, and I was on the news with this. Anyhow, I saw the picture of the lady standing there in a Victorian-type dress with a ribbon in the back. And, you can see the darkness in there if you look close. Like the nightness of there has that orange, like a little orange or brownish tint to it, but the shadows are jet black in front of that. So you can see the kind of difference. So it's called matrixing when you try to make things out, but this is clearly somebody, 2 or 3 bodies standing there. So we're, I took a picture. I did not want to be the one that said there's a ghost in there, so to speak. So Richard Felix from the show Most Haunted. It was a European show where just basically English guys going through a house and you hear, oh, what's that? With the green night vision and stuff. He was
basically their version of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, but they were there
Only
first.
less dramatized.
But they were there first. But actually, they had some real stuff in theirs, which is pretty frightening. That's the problem, because they had fake stuff and the real stuff, and the thing with that is got mixed up.
Which I do want to get into with the whole filming and everything at the Opera House, but continue with the
Yeah, so he was, so anyhow, Richard Felix came into the thing, he did that show. He was a historian, he wasn't the ghost guy. His wife was the ghost person. So I got mixed up. So he was there doing a talk at the Derby Library. And so he's at the library doing talk, and the mayor goes, why don't you go talk to him about your ghost? And so he goes, all right, maybe I'll get him in there to check out the Opera House. That'd be kind of cool. And I showed him a picture, and he goes, oh, that's interesting. Can I get in there and walk around? Can we walk around there? Sure. So I got the permission from the mayor, and the mayor would go in there, and every time the mayor would, no matter what flashlight he had, his flashlight would get turned off. So it's kind of weird.
Like, it turned off, or would it die?
It would die. It would just like go out. And his no matter what, I give him a brand new flashlight, and any flashlight that he held in his hand went dead. It was amazing. Weird. I can hold a flashlight. Mine was fine. His would go dead. So that was the thing. We didn't know what it was. And he saw that, and he goes, well, that's a pretty thing. He goes, yeah, it happens all the time. I can't run a flashlight through here. All right, fine. So did they do that? They drained power from me. Anyhow, so we're in there. Richard Felix is going there. We're going through. We were giving a tour, and I'm just following everybody because I'm the small guy in the totem pole. I'm not a city official, so to speak, but I'm just there to make sure that nobody, you don't linger, you don't get trapped. So the wife goes in the, we have what's called the green room, and it's under the stage, and I'm looking in the green room. I'm watching her. We're moving along, kind of thing. I'm waiting for her to come, and she goes. Steps back and snaps 2 pictures. What'd you see? And she goes, she didn't say anything. She wouldn't respond. What'd you see? What'd you take a picture of? And because I didn't see anything. I may have saw like an orb or something, a glint, a little like dust. That's what it looks like. When you take a picture of dust, that's all I saw on my end. So anyhow, she goes, all right, we're done here. The guy goes, Richard Felix goes, so we all went to have warm beer at Archie Moore's in downtown Durham. He goes, and we're sitting there, and he goes, he was talking to his wife, and he goes, so do you have your pictures? You have a picture? You saw something in Opera House? You got a picture of it? He goes, yeah, and I had to go to the gallery and get it. He didn't see my picture. So I had to get it. It was in a frame. So I went and got my picture of my ghost, and he goes, don't show me anything yet. And he goes, does it look like this? And he showed me a lady in green just staring at the camera with the same kind of dress, the same shaped dress, so to speak. I don't know what I saw up there. But he goes, you got something. You got a ghost. This place definitely has a ghost. If you're going to have a ghost, you definitely got a ghost. You go, oh, wow. So we have a real ghost in there. Then I made the T-shirts up, and I made the tours, and got a little airplay on that. And so we're
commercialized a little.
Yeah. Well, we'll be able to, make something out of it. Maybe we'll get the building open. So that was the first thing. So it's like, okay. So now we just started with a couple of, let's go in there. I found that there was ghost groups. And hey, go in here. This guy says a ghost. Let's go, and maybe we'll contact the ghost. Oh, great. Nothing was happening until we had renovation on the building. So evidently renovation, they just did the windows. And when they renovated the building, it came to life. So I'm in there, and we started getting bumps and reactions and stuff like that, hearing things, footsteps and stuff, you name it. The early groups actually had, we had a guy from Animal Planet, I forgot the guy's name. I forgot his name, Bob. I forgot Bob something, and he was like a pool guy and ghost guy, and he worked with Animal Planet and stuff, almost similar to the Ghost Hunters kind of thing. But he had a business job, and he had a ghost hunting at night. So this guy had some stuff, and he was really strict, real tight guy and stuff, and I respected that. He wasn't a big goofball like, oh, there's a ghost, hey, I can see a ghost, so I'm going to talk to. No, this guy was real, and I like
how it is.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. We set the cameras up, and he goes, and with him we had some pretty fabulous stuff. He got 2 full figures. We put the cameras and left them sitting there in the main theater area where all the chairs are gone. So he put a camera there, and there was a wood pile in the middle of the floor. Always for years, a wood pile. Just they were renovating from the windows. And we're in there, and we had the camera on there, and he had 2, for the lack of it's hard to explain. They weren't full body. The full body apparitions are the ones that I've been seeing in there. The ones we captured are basically the best way to describe it is the what's that movie with the Terminator?
Yeah.
The water cop. The cop that turns into liquid.
So it's almost like a silhouette type
It's a silhouette, but you're only seeing highlights of it.
Okay.
That's the most common one we saw in there.
Almost like a hologram, though.
It was
like
like
lit hologram.
Yeah, it's a three-dimensional figure stand, but you're only seeing like highlights of.
Right.
It wasn't like it's like the Terminator or the other one with that other monster that let's say you threw sawdust on him. Not Alien. What is that? The Predator.
Predator. Yeah.
Like that when they disappeared.
Yeah.
And you see the air, but you would only see part of the body on it, and it was like, wow, he's got two figures walking across like that. He's two I call them cellophane people. He's got two cellophane people. Like if they had ghosts, you cover with cellophane, you could see them. So he had two cellophane people walking regular gait around, and the killer they split up when they went around the damn wood pile. And I just couldn't figure out, why would they're ghosts and they're clear, why would they walk around the wood pile? Why did they go through it? They go through walls and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was the fascinating thing. And he was gonna save it for whatever. So anyhow, the first thing we did, wow, this is great, it was great. We had Animal Planet come in there. And Animal Planet came in there because I said I thought it was a raccoon on the damn railing. Mm-hmm. So they thought it was a ghost raccoon. I go, no, they were in there anyway. I got mixed up, so they're looking for a ghost raccoon.
A ghost raccoon.
They misinterpreted me. What I thought was a raccoon ended up being a ghost in there. It wasn't a ghost raccoon. Right? Yeah. How does a raccoon have a ghost? Because they try to tell you when a ghost, when you see a ghost, why are there more ghosts? Why don't you ever see a caveman ghost? You think about it. Why aren't there no caveman ghosts?
That's a good question.
Yeah, the answer is religion. There's no beliefs, no religion. There was nothing set. Indians, you have spirits and ghosts. They're very spiritual. The caveman probably just looked up, fire, sky, didn't know what the hell, and he was going to go kill, eat, that's it. But as man developed religion, then you get your spirits and your ghosts and your questioning.
There's no ghosts of animals. Then you
never
see a cow ghost.
Actually, you do see them. You do see they do have apparitions of them. I had in my house, my dog was going crazy. This is just a segue here. My dog was going crazy one day, and I was home from work, and I go, what the hell is wrong with you? I was going to let him out, and I go, there's probably a skunk in the yard. I ain't letting you out. Mm-hmm. And I have a window. I'm looking out the window, and the dog, going nuts, going to tear the window down. And what the hell's wrong with you? And I look in the yard, and I go, there's a sheep. I go, what the fuck? How'd I get a sheep in my yard? It's all fenced in. I go, and
it was a sheep ghost?
It was like a sheep. There was a sheep. I didn't know it was a ghost. I let the dog out to get it. I go get it. Because I don't know. I just sicked the dog on it. And the dog just walked. The dog walked halfway down the steps and started spinning around. And said, and I go, what's the matter? And I look, and the thing is gone. There's nothing in. I'm looking all over the yard. And my neighbor's out. And he goes, hey, Tim, did you see something in my yard? He goes, no, why? I heard your dog bark. And I go, no, never mind. I don't want to say anything, but I saw fucking sheep. And I got some most unbelievable thing. But the funny thing is, my kid was digging in the yard, and she found the head of a sheep in where the thing was seen.
A whole head?
The skull. The skull, man. The jawbones and everything. So whatever the hell it was, there was a ghost sheep there. And it's like, oh my God. And I saw it. I go, I didn't want to say it. It's like, okay. So you see, and my dog saw it. I wouldn't have seen it if my dog didn't see it. My dog doesn't have a religion, but dog spelled backwards God. I don't know, but just
They do say that dogs though pick up on that stuff for some reason. I guess their senses are a lot more sensitive to that.
Oh, my room in the attic. If my dog's in the 20 years, some years I've been there, my dog's been in the room 3 times. They will not come in that room. And when they come in there, if they were up there actually the other day, if they do come in the room, they come like somebody yelled at them. Very
tail between the legs, scared.
That kind of stuff, yeah. And my dog Teddy is a 130-pound idiot.
Oh shit.
And the other one is Pitbull, and she didn't know the
So going back to the Opera House. So you had Animal Planet there.
Animal Planet was there, and they just did a little run-of-the-mill thing. Oh, and there was a ghost of a raccoon there or something. And I was like, yeah, okay. So you're going to see people, like, taking things and twisting them, and I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I go, why didn't you show this guy's ghost stuff on there? Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what the industry, so-called industry, is, you're going to find out is a lot of spin. And that's what I've been finding and stuff.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next is, you've had, how many shows have you had there? You had what? The Animal Planet show, I know Ghost Hunters.
We had Animal Planet, we had Ghost Hunters, we had Travel Channel, Travel Channel was
like Haunted Destinations or something
Haunted
like that?
No, Destination Fear.
Yeah, that's right.
The Vault of Horror was in there, not a TV, they did a video thing. Vault of Horror. And Paranormal Files Factor Faked.
Okay.
So that was the biggest one.
The one that I remember watching, like the night that it aired, was the Ghost Hunters episode. And now, I only knew very, very little about the Opera House when it aired. I just thought, oh, this is cool. I watched the show when they're filming A Town Over. As far as what they showed on television, I don't care about what they showed on television because you can go back and look at that. Yeah. What didn't they show that they should have showed?
That place, well, number one, I sat there and I had getting the show there was the hardest thing.
Right.
I couldn't get them. I just sent them letters. Oh, I got a ghost. So it'd be kind of cool to put on there.
Now, this is like 11, 12 years ago, too, because I was actually still in high school when they were doing this.
So anyhow, I was trying to get them there, and they wouldn't even respond to me. Yeah, fine, okay, fine. So I just gave up. And until then, I had hundreds of groups in there. Where every weekend for 10 years or whatever it was, 8 years, never know. I had everybody in. I had ghost groups going in there.
It was popping at one point.
I had them in every weekend. Yeah. And I do every Saturday night. We'd go Fridays and Saturday nights. We were in there.
Yeah.
I had different groups from all over the country and stuff come in there. And it was good. And they all had fascinating things. All had good experience, and the material that comes out of there is top notch.
Oh, I'm sure.
People sit there, you hear, oh, it's going to kill you. As I said, that's my favorite thing. You see it on all the TV shows, and they have to slow it down and put the type so they're going to, oh, look, it says, oh, I'm going to kill you, or get out of here, And
it's very easy to distort a sound and make it sound like somebody is speaking.
Yeah, but the Opera House, as the renovations finished, we started seeing characters, and they had roles in the place, which is the fascinating thing. We had the lady that we had pictured with Richard Felix, we started calling the Green Lady, because we started seeing her materializing in certain spots, and her name is Hetty from Brooklyn, and she was the stage lady, and we all checked it out. I go, wow. So it checked, all the stuff checked out. We can actually follow who it is, because she would get pissed that we'd have a psychic in there, and the psychic would go, it's a lady, and she's a cleaning lady. And if you said that, she'd hit you, or scratch you, or throw something.
Physically.
Wow. She threw a window. We had a window from the old renovation. Dan Rivera he's with the Warrens, Tony Sparrow now, and the Warrens. We were all invited for their group. Warrens were never in there because they couldn't climb the stairs. They were in there, older, and he passed, and so they couldn't climb the stairs. They wanted to get in there. But anyhow, Dan Rivera one time had, or Hetty, and he goes, are you the cleaning lady, or are you a pretty lady, or a cleaning lady? And you just felt the place go cold, and it's like you're waiting for something to happen. You felt something happening, and whatever hell, there was a window against the thing. It moved like 6 to 8 feet, thrown into the middle of the floor.
Did it shatter?
It didn't shatter. No, it actually stayed whole, but the way it just fell, it was thrown and it didn't break, and it hit, and it was like, wow. And it didn't fall over. It was picked up and thrown. And I go, wow. Well, I guess it's not the cleaning lady, Dan.
Oh, she must have taken her job seriously.
She was pissed. So, but we found out she was, every time you go in the building, the first spirit that was with you, you open that door, she's there.
So it's almost as if she was like greeting you in a way.
You would get greetings from her and another ghost named Andy. Those are the two most prevalent spirits in there.
Was Andy the little boy?
Andy was the little boy. Okay. He didn't want to be called. You would piss him off if you called him Andrew.
Because Andy is the little boy that all of the ghost shows were trying to find. For some reason,
everybody wants Andy.
They wanted to focus on Andy.
Well, Andy has the most.
ball.
Andy, you listen to Andy singing in a couple of minutes. Andy was the most prevalent, him and the Green Lady were the most active spirits.
Yeah.
Andy can move things. Andy, he could gather strength to do things, which is kind of fascinating. What a boy named Andy had to do with Opera House, I couldn't tell you. No kid was recorded in.
He liked it there.
Nobody died in there. We're figuring that it goes to the house that was there before the Opera House on the property.
Oh yeah, maybe.
The spirit, because the activity actually encompassed the whole area. You have Twisted Vine down the street has activity. The old Connie's restaurant had somebody in the basement. 33 Elizabeth Street has a woman in Victorian garb walking down the stairs.
The church, I believe, on the corner of the green has some stuff in the basement too, doesn't it?
I don't know about that. I don't know what happened in there actually. I'm not too familiar with that. I can't say I don't know. But
yeah.
Another story was all right. The Opera House was not just the Opera House. It was the police station. It was City Hall. It was the Bassett Hose. It was a firehouse.
Yep. Now it's the back of it is the courthouse.
And the Opera House. The Opera House was, but it's not really. The courthouse isn't the Opera House. It's a separate entity.
Okay.
But it had all these things. You had City Hall, firehouse, police, and a theater, and the night court, whatever that was. There was a courthouse, but that was night. It had to do with like a probate kind of court,
right?
City Hall or the police station, night court.
Were there jails in there too?
And there are jail cells in there. There's 6 jail cells in the basement.
Are they still there?
Jail cells are still there. Only
that's cool.
1 or 2 still have bars.
Okay.
But all the bars are removed except for 1 or 2 stalls. And we have, so if I can find it later on, you may hear this. I have recordings of a night watchman or something walking on a clear floor, heel to toe with shoes on the cement floor, and wrapping the total of 6 bars like a nightstick.
That's kind of like what they would do in like the Alcatraz movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you hear walking and pivoting on a foot and doing it back. We got that. We got 15 minutes of that on recording of it.
Wow.
15 minutes. And we weren't there, but it was recording that. And the killer is there's only bars on 2 of the stalls, and you hear it going on the ones with no bars on that. A sound red echo on the do that, and you hear it go because each one had a handle, so you heard it go over the handle. So click, 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 and meanwhile the footsteps going, and it was fascinating.
You said you got that for 15 minutes.
We did 15. We left an iPad going for 15, maybe 20 minutes, maybe even longer. It's like, oh my God.
So going back to the filming then.
All right, so we go. Yeah, let me get to get to the Opera House. All right, so Andy is strong, and the Green Lady are strong. They wouldn't come out to the opera, come out there at all. So nothing happened with them. Ghost hunters. They would not come out. It was about a year into it, and it's very active. And we go, you got to see this stuff is real, and. They didn't believe me. I go, you're going to come here, you got to come here. And the killer is, if you went there at 3 o'clock in the morning, you ain't getting shit. That place is active 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Because that's when plays
that's when the place is open. You had from lunchtime to 8, 9 o'clock at night, you had activity. And it was great. And that's where we caught all the stuff. You go in there in the afternoon, you're going to see shit like you wouldn't believe. So they didn't believe me. So still, all right, fine. So Paranormal Files Fact or Fake came out. All right.
That was a pretty decent show.
Yeah. So they came out, but they sent like a preliminary team out. They didn't send the crew like you see the 5.
Okay, so
they
it
had
wasn't
the 5 guys. It was the show.
Right, but it wasn't the actual host of the show.
It wasn't the host. No, they wanted to see what the hell's going on. The person came, and it was a husband and wife team, psychic, cameraman, and a technical person. And I'm sitting on the stage with them. It was a Saturday afternoon or something. I forgot. Saturday afternoon or something. And I'm sitting there, and he goes, all right, what are you going to do? I go, we're going to set up here. And she goes, well, we're going to get the feel of the place. And you go, we're kind of figuring, there was 2 stairways on the side of the thing. We're going to go up here, and we're going to check, rustle up all the ghosts and walk them down the stairs. And I go, really? You're going to fucking walk Well, you're going to walk the ghost down the stairs. They're all going to listen to you and walk down the stairs.
What is she going to do? Come on, ghost, let's go.
That's what it made it look like. And number one, where they're all over the place. You got this person, and this ghost is here, this spirit's there, this person's there. I had never seen them together. They're not together. Andy goes in a certain area. The green lady goes all over the place. We have another one, which I don't know what it was. What the hell's the name? He was a guy. He was a guy beat up and he was crawling, so he would scratch you a lot. I got scratched by him. I got attacked by that thing, and that was kind of weird. So you don't know where it's coming from. It's kind of it's kind of interesting. So what is his name? I forgot the guy. The guy got attacked. I had a fight with him. I actually had a physical fight with this spirit thing through a psychic, which was funny. But anyhow, I'll get into that in a second. Anyhow, but all right, the ghost hunters are trying to, not ghost hunters, the fact or fake people. Yeah. They're up there, and she goes, all right, I'm going to sit down. I just made myself, I got a chair pulled up next to the thing, and I'm going to watch them through the camera because I don't have time for this shit. I go, this is going to be a waste of my time. So I'm up there, and they go all the way to the top of the theater. I'm watching them, and looking on the thing. I don't see anything. What's going on up there? And he goes, I don't know. And they were supposed to corral the ghosts and bring them down. So they were up there, and they stopped. They're kneeling by the chairs. And it looks interesting. I'm going to find out what's going on there. And I go, hey, what's happening up there? And she goes, there's a little boy here. Oh, okay, you got to pique my interest. I didn't say who it was. He goes, and she's going, he doesn't want to be called Andy. He doesn't want to be called Andrew. He wants to be called Andy. Wow, but I can't 100% do that. I can't say they didn't see or share the information from other groups and stuff, so I can't accept that. I'm a realistic thing. And they go, he's right here and his hand is on my knee. All right, this is I'm coming up because he had moved balls and stuff on me and stuff.
Right.
So I'm up there, and so Andy's up there, and he's up there with the lady, and they're talking, and I'm up there. It did feel a little cold up there, and she goes, he's right here and his hand is on my knee. And you don't see anything. And I'm looking in the camera, and he's in front of the chairs. And I'm looking in there. It looked like somebody dangling a piece of tinsel in the middle of the camera over the chair. What the hell's that? He goes, that's what we're looking at. Oh, that's cool. And not putting two and two together, it kind of fits the appearance of my cellophane people. You're looking at something transparent and jiggling. I don't know if the kid's like moving or something.
Right.
And you can't make out his figure. Whatever. But it looked like tinsel to me. It looked like just somebody wiggling tinsel. In the camera. It wasn't visible to the naked eye. You didn't see a damn thing in the naked eye. And you go, you look in the camera, how is this possible? You're just picking it up. I'm looking. This is going on for a few minutes, and I'm looking. She's talking to the thing, and she's giving me interesting things. But you may have read this somewhere. I'm looking some more, and I'm going to just stick my hand in the... I put my hand in the seat. It was ice cold right over the seat. That was really cool. Oh, man. And then she goes... You're rich. He says, you're rich. The ghost knows me as rich. He's saying, you're rich. Yeah. And they go, well, she should know who I am. But, that's she just repeating what the thing, So I don't know. There's still nothing there. So I just put my hand over it. Oh, it's pretty cool. So it's like, oh, you got my, I'm like gullible now. It's like, oh, he said my name. So it's like, oh, boy, So I'm looking at the camera, looking there, and there's nothing there. And what I can explain was the most fucking amazing mother blanking thing I've ever seen in my life. And so much so it scared the living shit. Even now I got my hair standing on end.
Yeah,
just
I can
talking.
see,
It's
yeah.
like, holy shit. I just say it was so, even now it's overwhelming what I saw. On the seat where the kid was sitting, there was a friggin' handprint appeared. But it wasn't a handprint. Like if you and I stuck my hand in the dirt and we pulled it up, you're going to see the dust moved.
Right.
And the handprint like clear. This is the opposite. This was the hand went. And I watched like somebody took a brush and cleaned out the kid. Like the kid had his hand on a dirty chair and somebody cleaned up around it, leaving the dusty handprint.
Whoa.
It was the opposite. And the best way to describe it, I'm standing a foot away from it, watching it happen, and it looked like they made these toys back in the 50s and 60s and early 70s, and they were like wax tablets with a gray paper, and you used to take a little plastic pen and it would draw the image with white, and you pull it away and it would disappear. That's what it was like. Somebody took the hand was there and they pulled it up and it disappeared. But this is the opposite. It appeared. And the handprint, just like right in front of me, I go, and it was a little kid's handprint. I go, holy shit! I threw everybody out of the theater. I thought the place was going to go nuts, and because I was going nuts, it was like I was just overwhelmed. I threw them out. Let's get out! Everybody out of the theater! Out! Because I'm picturing everything flying around and us getting trapped in there and place burning and stuff like that, which didn't happen. But I got everybody out. I got scared.
And they got all of this on camera?
They got on camera. And I was living, I was shitless. It's like, wow, and that night, guess who calls up? Ghost hunters. We want to come there immediately.
Oh, shit.
Where I got you guys, you're ignoring me and stuff. It ends up they share the same producer or something.
Oh.
That shows. So, Paranormal File, they didn't get it. They go, you have some incredible stuff there we hear.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. So, so they're going to come, but it's going to, they had planned 2 weeks or so. But if you look at our episode of Soldier Story, it's not an entire episode. To get it down, they wanted to catch stuff. To get it down, they hijacked another show. They split a thing up. They split another show, and we were piggybacked along the show. We didn't have our own segment, our own show. This place had its own show.
Right.
So anyhow, I'll hit the thing in. So now we'll wait for the ghost hunters to go. Now I'll hit you with all the other shit going on. In the meantime, now the place is jumping. So we got there. You walk in the door, and I used to tell people, have your recorders on, because Andy's going to say hi. Andy, would you walk in the door and say, hi? Clear as day, everybody heard Andy. Let's go into the theater. So Andy's there, and he's got a hi, and there's, oh my God. And it looks like we set up. We would never set up. We had a blue ball that would come down the stairs. We'd think that was Andy. And the blue ball would appear over the stairs, and we'd watch this ball come down the stairs. And if you blocked it, it wouldn't go through. It would stop on the stairs and then disappear. It would break up into little lights. And we've seen this. So
it wasn't a physical ball?
It wasn't a physical ball. I could put my hands under the ball of light, and it wouldn't light up my hands, which I found kind of weird. It was cold as you wouldn't believe. It was like ice. If I stick my hand in ice water, it was really cold.
Right.
It was a blue ball actually I have pictures of it. I can show you. There's our photos online of the blue ball. And this blue ball would come down the stairs, float down the stairs about 6 inches above us. It wasn't bouncing on the stairs. It wasn't on the wall. It was free floating right in the middle, like a Christmas ball or something, right dangling. But it was a ball of light. And you would sit there, and you would have to get its trust on you. It wouldn't approach you. But after a while, it would come down the stairs. And we're talking 45 minutes to an hour of us playing with it and watching this ball come down the stairs.
And every time,
and it would come, and it would get closer. It would like it had a mind of its own. Mm-hmm. So I would stick there, and I finally got it. So I was sitting down on the stairs, and the thing came down and next to me, and I put my hand out slowly. Dan Rivera did the same thing. He was able to get the thing. He said, we got a picture of him with the ball in his hand, like just above his hand. And it's like, wow. And it's, oh, that's an orb. I go, we didn't put that there. And that's actually visible. We actually can see it in his hand. That's how he was able to hold it.
Wow.
But he didn't close it up. But you close up your hand, the ball would break into a little light and disappear. Like something like Star Trek, like the early days, the transporter.
Yeah.
No noise, nothing. It was silent. But that ball of light was fascinating. That ball of light would be all over the place. And that ball would come through. You're in the thing in the theater. And that ball of light would be floating under the seats all over the place, and you didn't have any control over it. Just went wherever it went, and you went near it, it would dissipate. Like it had a mind of its own. And I finally got comfortable enough to have the thing sit there. I had no idea what first contact would be with ball of light.
Right.
I had no idea. So I tell everybody with me, I go, if something happens to me, don't leave me in this shithole. I go, I'm going to try to grab it when I come down. I'm going to try to grab it. So we all planned. Here it comes down the stairs, and I was able to do it. And I put my hand out, and then I brought my hand up into the coldness. I thought I was going to get shocked or something, but no. It would just break up into little lights.
That must have been cool to see, though.
Oh, it was lack of better words, it was fantastical. And it got boring after a while. It's coming down. All right, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? I go, let's move back and let's see where it's going, because we're blocking it. So it would come down. What we did was, before we left, we would watch it come down. Now we sat back, and it would come down, and then make the turns. Each landing has 3 landings: upper landing, middle landing, and lower landing. And we watch. You ever look down? So we watched it, and what happened was it went down the stairs, and then went down around the corner, disappeared. Didn't come back again, but we thanked it. But after I dropped everybody off, we closed the place up. I go, oh, I'm going to go back there again. So I went back there and was about to open the door, and I go, what, am I stupid? You don't think. Yeah. I don't know what the hell I have. I could have the demon seed in there or something like that. And Rich is never to be seen again. He went to the opera house all by himself. These things go through your head. Will it happen like that? I don't know. But this is the ball of light. And we're thinking it had to do something with Andy and stuff. It was playful. So we started bringing in toys and started bringing the ball in the same area. And the ball would move, but it wouldn't move on command. We did the flashlight thing with a loosened flashlight, and we did all that stuff. We did ghost boxes. And then we started finding out that we had more than one spirit in there. So we had Andy. We had the green lady. We had a white lady. These are different characters in there, and they all did a little thing.
What did the white lady do?
White lady would just sit in the chair. White lady comes in. White lady fucked up the ghost hunters like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That dog, Maddie, the dog Maddie they had, 100% useless because of the white lady. They've never seen anything like it. That dog wouldn't even go near it.
Wow.
There you go. It was, the dog would run to the chair, and then all of a sudden, like, somebody yelled at the dog and ran off. It was like, wow. The lady, she didn't like the dog. Maddie. Okay. So anyhow, the white lady occupied a certain seat. Andy would sometimes be in that area with the white lady. There are pictures of the white lady forming on the stage, and she's a basic light. So it was a white light, so we called the white lady. There was no electricity in the building. So how do you do this? You have we had the meters and stuff, the electromagnetic meters to read electromagnetic fields. That place is off the charts. And even the ghost hunters, you'll see it. He goes, it's off the charts, and there's no electricity in here. And that was the amazing thing. You usually could read the electrical lines and stuff. There was 0 electricity in there. And their meters would read like they were like 220 volt, like reading the electromagnetic activity off of the wiring and stuff as if it was feeding through. That's how much activity it had in there. But it was several feet off the ground. It wasn't, if you put the thing on the floor, it wouldn't happen. You got to go raise up about 3 or 4 feet, and it would be powerful.
So how long at a time would you be in the opera house?
Depends on, we were there for 5-6 hours a night. When we went there every weekend, 5-6 hours a night, sometimes 8. And it was just the gift that kept on giving. And
would it pick up the same things every time, or was it like...
That was different every time.
Oh, wow.
Except after I had an incident with a ball. We sat there one night in the stairs with a ball, and we had the cameras set up, and it was a crew of 13. I'm thinking too many people there. Mm-hmm. Although it never stopped before. But we had 13 or 14 people in this group. And I'm thinking, oh, you have 2 or 3 psychics, so so-called psychics. So you take them with a grain of salt. There were some true people, and there's some hacks, but you get them. You get people, oh, I'm this, I'm that, or they don't know what they are. Right. Maybe they're just empaths or something. Not taking anything away from them, but you can read what I had. People are posting. So we had one group in there, and they had the ball, and we were there for 2 or 3 hours waiting for the ball to move. Because it's a big thing when the ball moves. When something moves, a physical object, that's big time. That's big shit. That's one of the top things you want to see. So we had a ball. It was on top of the stairs, and come on, Andy, move the ball. Come on, Andy, move the ball. Nothing. So we go, let's give up. This is ridiculous. Now, he's not going to move the ball, obviously. So I went and they all went inside to have they took a break, and they're all sitting in the back chairs in the inside the thing. I'm in the hallway with the staircase and stuff. And I went up to the upper landing to get the ball, and the camera's on me, and I go like this, and I took the ball in my hand, and I hold it up, and I go, listen, kid, how hard is it to move a fucking ball? And I go, ooh, I'm the ghost, I'm moving the ball. So I had the camera going, so I just figured, ooh, and I did it so the ball would actually go into the camera. All right, fine, that was funny, haha. I'm putting the ball over here, just told them I put it in the corner inside and I was going to join them we had snacks, chips and soda or punch, whatever the hell it was we had, or beer, I forgot but it was no drinking, but we had snacks. So we're sitting there. I put the ball down. And this is right after I just said, how hard is move a fucking ball? So I moved in, I just put the ball down thinking, all right, fine. I put the ball down, and I got my hand like 2 inches away, and you felt like a wind go by my hand, and that ball was kicked like you wouldn't believe. It ricocheted off the facade of the underneath the other chairs.
Oh, shit.
Hit the wall and then bounced, boom, 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 boom. And it's all over the place and landed exactly where the fucking thing took off.
Oh, wow.
I ran out of the building like a little fucking girl. I screamed too. They all laughed at me. They screamed. He goes, you know what? It was funny. You screamed and stuff. I was thinking, but we all saw it. You didn't have anything to do with that ball. What'd you do? I go, I don't know. I just put the ball down and it shot like it got kicked.
Did they get that on footage? Like,
no, nobody got it. They got the sound. They were recording. Man. I got the sound of it, and they got me screaming, but no, we don't have the thing. But they saw it, and it returned, and then it boom, 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 and it landed up there. Then it went dump, dump, and that little stairs went right where it was, like it never moved. But I saw it go. I felt the wind go by me, by my hand, like, if somebody, and it just shot off like a rock. I never seen it.
Almost as if like somebody swatted it then.
It was hit so hard. It was the energy it was hit. And the ball wasn't even fully inflated to bounce like that. It was hit like a rocket. I mean, it hit you and that was the sound. This deflated toy ball. One of those balls.
Like a kickball.
Not a kickball, but the little the little light balls you see, the toy balls in Walmart.
Oh, those rubber ones.
Yeah, not the heavy rubber, the light ones. The ones you would little ones a little kid would play with. Not even can't even use it for anything. It wasn't a dodgeball. It wasn't a basketball. It was one of those light plastic, and that had that much punch to it. And after that, we left the ball. That ball was never found in that building.
Wow.
We cannot find that ball.
So,
but here's the key thing. After that, Andy would torment our little boy. Andy would go in there. Hi, Rich. And then he'd start doing things like, I got the ball. I got the ball. 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 I actually have that on tape. We put we'll listen to our first ghost thing. I have Andy singing to me. He would taunt me. And we left the camera there. We walked out of the building and you'll hear Andy singing. Hey you, my name is Andy. I got my ball, ho. And it's being accompanied by somebody else, which is actually creepy. It's like, this is creepy shit. I mean, as good as the handprint was, this one I have, and this one's on.
I was gonna say, turn that on.
This one you can get but this is a cool one. Let me find out.
So we're gonna play them maybe 2 or 3 times, so in case you don't hear it the first time.
I'm gonna have to blast this one.
Yeah.
So listen close. You'll hear a little boy singing.
Radio should be on.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it shuts off. That's why.
Yep.
The Bluetooth shuts off.
Give us a second, guys.
Yeah, here we go.
We're getting it.
I got to pair my Bluetooth with the... It's worth the wait. Sing us a song, Chris, while it's happening.
Yeah, right.
Oh, here, come on. Oh, here, it's under. Yeah, Monster. There we go. Okay. And we queued everything up. That's the killer. Come on, accept us. Here we go. Connect.
It's coming. Don't worry.
Coming.
Here we go.
Yeah, if I didn't want this to come on, it would come on.
All right, well, I guess I could take this time to let you guys know that I've announced my tour. I've actually added another date to the tour, and I'll be at the what's called 10 Selden in October 8th. And I have not been there in a couple of years. It used to be called the Amity Teen Center, so tickets will be available online at www.chrislengelmagic.com. And if you want to get tickets to any of my other shows, they are all online. I'm only waiting on 2 theaters to get back to me as far as ticket sales go. But at the same time, I mean, everything is also kind of spread out. Yeah, the tour starts in June, but, a lot of the shows don't happen until September or October. So, if you want to come out to the shows, come out, get your tickets. So, We got it?
Not yet. It's
You gotta, hold on, Rich, you gotta turn the radio on. Hold on a minute.
It's on. No, it's on. Oh, I see. The radio went off.
The radio went off. All right, here we go.
That's what happened. Okay, the radio.
Yep.
Yeah, line in.
Connected.
There we
There
go. Now
we
we're
go.
talking. Okay, your phone is connected.
All right, yeah.
All right, here you're going to hear the little boy sing if you listen close.
You can hear it at the very end. Yeah, like blast that. I don't think it'd be able to
That's
pick up.
Blasty. Can you put the phone? Yeah, I'm going to play again just the singing.
Yeah, you can hear that.
Here we go again.
Go back to the very beginning just one more time. You can hear it. It says, "Yeah, my name is Andy, and I got my ball. Yeah. Wow.
And you will hear him. He's on YouTube, so you can hear him on a really good.
I'll post the link to that in the description below, so you guys can hear it.
That was him singing. That's what I dealt with because I would go in there.
He sounds really young. Like he could have been like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. There's actually photos of him too.
Okay.
I have a photo of him too, and he actually made an appearance on another show. I have yet to see the damn. Another show came and took him. We have him running down the stairs again, like the cellophane person.
Okay.
But I have a photo of him in like a full body apparition.
Nice.
We have a nice photo of him.
So, what's the other thing that you have recorded?
The other thing we got recorded, I have. We have the Green Lady. Green Lady, and Green Lady is with you every time you go. She'll warn you what to do. And you gotta listen to her because you don't listen to her, she'll scratch you. And this is a doing it. Actually, not doing it local. That was another time. We had a news crew in there and scratched the cameraman. And she told him not to go somewhere. There was a place that you can't go in. What's the name? There's one of our ghosts' name is something Carbone. I forgot his first name. I can't believe Carbone. And he was the guy who would scratch you, and he was a nasty ass thing. I have no association with anything, but the rumor has the cops beat him up, and he
was in the jail.
He couldn't walk, and he crawls. So you're not gonna get attacked anywhere. So this guy, we had a Carbone. This guy named Carbone. We had a person there, D-Dove, channeling. And I didn't believe any channeling and stuff. And I used to wear a uniform from being a parking authority. When I'd have to turn on it, I'd have to turn on, let's say, we have these lights and there's a box in the basement.
Okay.
And if they were going in there, I would turn the box on. That's the only time we turn power on. Otherwise, there's no power in there. It was just a little fuse box all the way in the basement. And it had extension cords. So that was my job to go in there. So we're in this basement of where the police station is, the early police station. And the early police station had the jail cells and stuff like that, and so he got beat up there. So anyhow, we're in there and they're channeling this person, and the girl Z goes, and she's in her 60s, and she's a nice person, and she just turned into a nasty person. I'm gonna kick your effing ass. I don't like you. You guys suck. Me being in uniform. She singled me out.
You think you were a cop?
Yeah, well, I had a police uniform I used to wear.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have it on, but whatever is recognized me and wanted to have a piece of me. And I go, it's a 60-year-old lady, and I go, I'm in front of people, I go, anytime you want, let's have at it. I'm not afraid of you. So you do that, and I called his bluff. And so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, we're in there, and my friend gets ill. I got to get out. I'm nauseous. So we left the people in there with their thing, and the person sitting on the floor acting out things. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
So she's in there, and I get out there, and everybody goes, "The hell happened to your legs?" I was wearing shorts. I didn't walk. I walked straight down and walked in. I didn't feel a thing. My legs were like chopped meat. I was bleeding all over. My socks are all red and bloody. What the hell happened to you? And I go, I don't know. I don't even feel this. It was like wrestling. You ever see the wrestlers? They have the blood on their forehead.
Yeah, they bleed.
It was like very, very light scratches. It did sting, but it was like...
Almost like a tattoo.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the thing, but I had all this blood, and I had to use my shirt to wipe up the blood. That's how bad the blood was.
Wow.
What the hell happened? And then she came out and jumped on me and went after me, tried to choke me. And I'm telling her friends, I go, what do I do? Do I hit her? You know, she was a little stronger than I. It took two people to pull her off me. And it's a very frail, woman. And it's not,
I can't imagine what that would look like. Two people trying to pull a ghost off of you.
I've never seen. Well, it wasn't go. It was she was channeling it, and it was like using her as the thing. But it was stronger.
Oh,
it was stronger than her because it took two people. I mean, I could have knocked her out with one punch probably, and think, I'm cocky. Who knows?
So she was speaking through.
She was speaking through it
an actual
with
person.
a slightly different voice.
Oh,
I've never seen this shit before.
Okay,
and I don't know if it's fake or real.
Right.
You know, I didn't know who this guy was.
Well, if you had hit her and she had given you reaction, like, "What the fuck did you just hit me?" Then it probably could have been.
I was just like, I had to like, I didn't know what I was in for. I could kick my ass.
That's weird.
So that was the thing with that. So this thing would attack you. So anyway, the green lady was there to warn you and tell you what you can and cannot do.
Okay.
And she was the woman from Brooklyn, Hetty, and she'd make appearances. You can see her pictures online. It's her materializing, and I think these are available online too. Ghost box capture. Where the hell's the green lady? Oh, it's in my email.
Your email should be that one right there.
This is the ghost box capture. I don't want to lose this one. Actually, I want to hear, before we do this, we have the devices with the ghost boxes, and we'd have groups in there. All right? And the ghost box uses frequencies to make voices and stuff so you can communicate.
Isn't it usually like radio frequencies? Like they'll pick up different stations
This is like,
and put together words?
This is similar to that, but it's like, usually you get that and it would say one word things, one word responses. That way you would put together like I'm walking in a room and somebody will say car, and then the person doing the investigation will go, wow, that's right, I drove in a car. Yeah. You get things like that.
I went on I wouldn't really say it was a ghost hunt, but I've used that before, and it gives you very random but simple words.
This one
sometimes it'll say blue or glass.
Yes, my eyes are blue. Yeah, and it's like they try to make something out of it. This is in front of a group. What happened was we had the voice box and we weren't getting anything. And I usually don't do the voice box things, but it's like let me do this. And I told them it's me, Rich, and I said, it knows me. Since they all know me, it's like, hey, it's Rich, I was trying to say my name. There are things online where it says my name. Who's this? It's Rich. I can't find those. They're on there though. Anyhow, this one goes after I did its Rich thing, and I go, do you know what town we're in? And it goes, town? Because Derby's a city. And they go, then it corrected itself and goes, Derby. And I go, everybody laughs, oh, great. It said Derby. And it was very coherently said Derby. Unlike, it didn't say blue. Oh, that's right, the water is blue in Derby. It said Derby. And I responded, that's right, thank you. And it said, you're welcome. Immediately, if I had a person on a walkie-talkie or on a phone, they wouldn't be able to even respond as fluidly as this thing did. So I'll play this ghost box.
Let's see how loud this will be so I can... I'm going to move the
pardon the music. There was no haunted music there.
No, this is all...
What town are we in? Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Play that again, because besides the shitty music. Alright, listen again very carefully.
What town are we in? Right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm curious as to what it said right before it said Derby.
It said what? Because it did say what.
Oh, okay. So
I said, what town are we in? And it's a city.
Oh, okay. So it said what, and then
What?
Derby, and then you're welcome.
And we don't know how they hear us or
Yeah.
how it hears us. It could be like, it could be like where they're going,
Yeah, no, you're right.
But that was coherent and it was immediate and it was like unbelievable. Here's a picture of the blue ball.
All right, so because they obviously can't see it, I'm looking at a wooden staircase, and about halfway through, it's blue, and it looks like it's a motion of a ball bouncing down the step. Very small. Very, very tiny.
It's actually the size of a baseball. Those stairs are huge.
Okay,
it's
yeah,
about
all right.
the size
So
of a baseball.
yeah, but it looks like it's a ball bouncing down, like mid bounce.
And you can see
down
the
stairs.
You can see the stairs through it. It's transparent as a
Yep.
ball light, and that's what a flash.
And I noticed that there's no shadow because I see the shadow where the
Yes.
post is on the railing, and there's no shadow where the ball is itself.
Right. It doesn't illuminate, but it is a flash picture too.
Okay.
So that's kind
Now,
of weird.
was that during the day?
That was nighttime. That was a
Okay.
nighttime shot. That was the ball. That was the night we were watching it come down the stairs.
Oh, all right.
So come around and around, and it was fascinating.
That's still really cool. It's almost transparent.
And here you'll see a picture of the green lady appearing in the
Yep. So what I'm looking at right now, it looks like they're in the basement, white walls,
Under
white
the stage.
ceiling, lit up under the stage, and yeah, you can see the silhouette in the doorway.
and everything is illuminated green around her.
Yeah,
So it gives
and I'm not sure because I could see it looks like an arm and a shoulder right here.
She's actually off the ground. The bottom of her dress is there.
Yeah.
She's actually set back, but you can see through there,
Yep.
and it does go high. She's
It's
high.
very, very subtle. Very subtle. But
there
you
was
can see that there's a figure in
There's
there.
a figure there wearing the dress. So that's a cool picture. Oh, here's the original picture of the ghosts on the stairway.
I can't really describe that too well, but I could see
You
see
can
that
the
they
silhouettes,
outlined
the
the
woman in the dress, and there's actually other people. That's what I saw.
Okay.
I didn't see that. I saw my raccoon.
right.
Here's my raccoon.
Oh yeah, looks like a little raccoon sitting on the stairs.
But that's what I thought it was. But evidently it's not a raccoon, but it
Yeah.
could be what's called matrixing. But
Right.
that's what I saw, and I'm going with it. That's it. All right, let me find the. Here we go, ghost stuff. Here we go. We got here. I found a bunch of them. All right. We also have in the courtroom. This was intelligible. This is actually the green lady spoke French.
Okay.
She speaks French too. I had a friend who spoke French, and to me it was like Gullah or gibberish.
And he was able to translate it, I would assume.
She would translate.
Oh, she was able to.
She translated. She translated the thing, and she goes like this. She goes, "You're saying open the door,"
Okay.
because I shut the door. I opened the courtroom had a door to it, and I shut the door. And while we're in the building, you have to have the doors open.
Right.
So
Okay.
you have to, because it's not a safe building, so you have to have the egresses all opened up for safety.
Right.
So I had this whatever it was, she goes, and it was we heard it. I had the phone, I walk in the building, I have the phone on recording, and she goes, and
And now this is in French.
this is in French.
All right.
So here's the green lady telling me to open the
Mind
door.
you, Rich just opened up a whole folder full of videos and audios, it looks like. So yeah, this could get really interesting.
Yeah, so here we go.
I think it's interesting as it is, but now we're going to hear a lot more stuff.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Oh,
Can I
okay.
be real for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better,
We got.
How did it know I had to exercise and eat better? It's a ghost.
and nobody
That's
has
the problem
to,
when you have it on
because
these.
You can do it.
Yeah, I
if
know.
you have the right tools and a community
Does
that
better.
cares about helping you get results, and that's us.
You can't skip
Beachbody.
the ad.
This is convenient
No.
as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. Let us help.
All right, get off my phone.
Yeah, go away. We're trying to listen to stuff.
All right, here we go.
We're mic'd up at Kalahari Resorts and Conventions.
Oh, I guess it's gonna play another ad.
Okay.
More amazing water park passes were included in our stay.
As for spa.
Oh, no, that's a 30-second ad. Okay.
Oh, wait, what does it play? Wait.
High five.
This thing looks amazing.
All right, yeah, I was not expecting the ads, but it's all right.
It's so weird. It's
Make more
SoundCloud.
memories this spring break at Kalahari
Oh,
Resorts
it's
and
SoundCloud.
Conventions in Wisconsin Dells. Book now at KalahariResorts.com.
All right, here we
All right, here
go.
we go.
No, he's on in the graveyard.
That's me talking.
He's on the horn with like Italian.
In the back, you got it's in the
Yeah,
back.
I heard that very.
No, he's on
Very
in
subtle.
the graveyard. That graveyard was he's on the horn with like Italian.
Yeah, at the very, very end, it sounded like there was a woman talking.
Yeah, she's talking and she's saying "open the door" in
Okay.
French. So that's hard, but you can get that. That's on SoundCloud and
Right.
stuff. We can put a link to that. I didn't know I had that commercial thing.
Huh.
And here we
I'm
go.
wondering if that's going to be all of them now.
I don't know. Let's see. We have the gibberish. We have. I mean, I got things that were. It was a policeman kind of thing. It was just these are just lines out of somebody posting things. That's the voice
Between
box.
the ages of 1 and 5. What was that?
Oh, that's somebody screaming in the opera.
Who's the man that keeps talking?
Oh, this is a whole bunch of stuff.
You ever smell the food that they're cooking?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Who are the young men in the picture on the wall?
That isn't me.
Why do you only pick on me whenever I'm alone? Why can't you come out whenever people are around?
Huh? So they're all crazy things. But those are the ghost boxes.
Yeah.
They're not. I'm like, those are good, but they're not as. Those are being like, those are the ones we're talking about where it's like they don't have a. It's not intelligible, you know.
So what did they not show on Ghost Hunters that they should have shown?
All right, Ghost Hunters. All right, we went there. They didn't listen to me with the. You got to go in the afternoon. Oh, we're going to go in at midnight and catch all the things. So, Ghost Hunters. As soon as you go in, as soon as the show starts, Grant and Jason go into the Bing. A shadow man was standing there in the fucking hallway as soon as they do at the police station. And you hear Grant say, I see a shadow thing. And they don't follow up on it. They never followed up on it. They didn't go investigate the shadow thing.
Huh.
Go figure. And that was as soon as they walked in the door. And they said they weren't ready.
So what did they just like roll the cameras before you opened and everything, or?
They had the cameras on. They're going to go in there, but they weren't ready for anything.
Oh.
They didn't have the guys with the camera set up because they're going to walk in and set up.
Right.
So I wasn't there. While they were there, they had the dog Maddie. We had the dog Maddie, and Maddie would go up to the white lady's seat in the balcony every time. And the dog did it like 5 or 6. They can't find the dog. They're trying to set the show up. Maddie's sitting there. Then all of a sudden, Maddie runs away from there, and Maddie wouldn't come back in the theater.
Okay.
So something scared Maddie, and Maddie's supposed to be the brave dog and not have any. So Maddie didn't come back. Maddie was in the show and wasn't in the show.
Oh.
So Maddie the dog is gone. Jason and Grant were running around. The blue ball of light came out and was rolling not rolling, but floating under the seats, and they were chasing it. Jason fell or got injured, and he said, fuck this, I'm out of here. And he left. So there was done with Grant, Amy, and Steve. They finished the show. Jason shot his stuff, and that was it. He shot his thing, but by the time Jason got fed up, he left. It was kind of weird the way they filmed it. So that's happened. And you talk to people, and you go, and they had a lot of stuff on there. And the stuff, when I went for the reveal, I'm on the stage and stuff. In the reveal, I'm listening to things like, oh yeah, that was good. And I hear things like, I had never heard things that bad in the opera house. If you're going to hear somebody say hello, it's going to say hello.
Yeah.
So it's going to talk to you. But they got none of that. They got a lady's presence. They heard a laughing of a kid on there. I think they did mention that.
Was
but
it Andy?
It had to be Andy. He's the only kid in there, basically. There is a girl that was in there for a little bit. She just wasn't strong enough. Never came through strong. But Andy, maybe took on her energy. So she was there, sporadic. She wasn't really a main thing. But all in all, there was 18 spirits in that place. But the main ones being Andy, the lady, and I can't think of the guy's. I just almost had the guy's name. The guy's first name does Carbone. His first name doesn't come through, and he's the one that scratches you.
Probably like Giuseppe or something.
No, it was like Vince or something like that, or
Vincenzo.
Or just a straight name, real. Doug or something. I forgot. I can't think of the name, and you say it all the time. It's one of those things that doesn't come to mind.
Pat.
Now, Pat, I remember.
George.
Yeah. It'll come up later on if I think about it. Otherwise,
you're going to text me after you
Yeah,
go
it was
home.
Larry, yeah. So anyhow, as I said, the two prevalent spirits were Andy and the Green Lady and the White Lady. But anyhow, Andy laughed on the ghost hunters.
Okay.
They tried having the ball move. They tried to go, but it wasn't any. They didn't do an investigation like you'd think. They'll just set up and see if we'll catch it on film. It doesn't act on cue. You can't go there. And what they were making things happen on cue.
It's not like you can just go into a place and say, "Hey, ghosts, I've got a camera. Do this now." You know?
Exactly. I mean, you need so many things that have to be in play. As I say,
that's why I can't stand Ghost Adventures.
Exactly. You don't go in a place and it jumps. It doesn't do that shit. It's like you got to sit there for hours.
And then he sits there and he antagonizes everything.
Well, you can do that. You can antagonize something and get it going.
Yeah, but then he gets pissed off when they don't do anything. It's like the Clara Annabelle episode where he's like, "Oh, something made me want to touch the doll," and he brushes its foot or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna die." He's like, "It's the only way I could have gotten her to do anything."
But I'm not a fan of that. I don't believe any of the Annabelle thing because they don't want me around because I'll pick the doll up and hug it. That thing was around a kid for God knows how many years and no incident. And it's like, I don't think it's a real doll. If it is, I don't know. I can't say. But I mean, the way they treat it with the tongs and radiation suit and throwing Hail Marys at it, I go, if you're doing anything, you're giving it power.
Yeah.
By doing that. If I had a thing, here's a haunted pen. All right. Ooh, pen, hit me. Do something to me. Oh. Now, if we spend months or years treating us like a holy relic, not touching it, and, if you do something, it'll stab you in the eye. It's going to...
Yeah, and if a gust of wind hits it, then we're going to freak out.
Oh, it moved. And it's like, oh, my God. It's a haunted pen. We don't know. Is the Opera House haunted? We don't know. It's got activity. Yeah. And they also pointed out in the Ghost Hunters, and they go, Rich didn't say it was haunted. I'm probably the only person that didn't claim my place is haunted. I said, there's activity. It's not haunted. I don't know what haunted means. It's not the, we have no control over it. You don't have no control over everything. From my experience, I think you got to be in tune like a radio station. If you're on radio, you can't hear the music of a radio if it's not turned on. If you have no radio, you're not going to hear it either.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it on the station, you're not going to hear it. You got to be in tune to pick it up.
It's true. So we are going to conclude this. I just want to ask one more thing. What was your favorite experience there out of everything that you saw? What was the one that you thought was the coolest? Was it the handprint?
Handprint was the scariest. I kind of like the... let me just find the ghost, the girl, the woman warning us. That came out really pretty good. I have just... where the hell is she? Ghost voice. Oh, here we go. And this is the Green Lady warning. She just scratched a girl named Amy who went behind the jail cells. We weren't allowed to go behind the jail cells. And you'll hear the guy going, "Who scratched Amy?" And she'll go, "It wasn't safe for you to go back there."
Who scratched Amy?
Yeah, you'll hear it before the guy says, "Who scratched Amy?" Let me do it again. Come on.
It's not safe.
Who scratched Amy?
That was clear.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
That's my favorite one, and I heard that. That was legend.
That was loud.
And that came out good. And that was the Green Lady telling you.
Now, do you think that they're still in there?
Who scratched Amy?
That's crazy.
That's fucked up. That's my favorite one. I heard
great.
that. I mean, I've had things where they said hi and they say hi. Hey, it's Rich.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun. But it's fun. There's so many things that were
still in there.
No.
No.
I mean, they're there, but right now it's dormant. Nobody's in there for like umpteen years.
Yeah.
So if they renovate it, and again, you got to be in tune. I can send people in there for years and stuff. They'll never see a damn thing. Mm-hmm. And I can have people in there for, they never came in there before, and they could be like, we had a group coming from Bridgeport. I call them urban paranormal. I think we're called urban paranormal. And this is the best experience with them. And what I do is it got to a point where I would just let them in the place and I'd go have coffee and hang out at the gallery while they were in the place and then go check on them in 3 hours. I went in there, I locked this group from Urban Paranormal, and they were terrified. They couldn't believe what the hell they experienced. What happened was, according to one of the guys, they were in there. It's an urban group, multiracial guys and stuff. Right. And it was like paranormal from the hood. I should have stayed with them. It would have been fascinating, watching them things. Right. But they were really upfront, really boisterous, really antagonizing, almost like a version of the Ghosts, whatever they are, the Ghost Adventures. Yeah. Really antagonizing and stuff. But I don't want any part of this. So I'm going to sit here and watch guys and thinking this, that, and this is that. I came in, I couldn't open the door when they got back because they were cowering against the door. The door locked. They thought I locked them in.
Oh, shit.
And they go, oh, God, thank God you're back and stuff. And he goes, this is a fucking freak show. Why? What happened? He goes, we went up there and they set up and they started doing things. And he set up there and they did something. And all of a sudden it started off his footprints walking around them. Mm-hmm. And then it ended up being stamping. And it didn't stop. And they said, we were in the middle and you can hear the stamping, like stamping feet going around them.
Yeah.
And never heard that happen before. And they have the recording of the stamping. I go, you weren't doing this? So I couldn't prove it. They didn't do it and stuff like that. But you saw they were legitimately scared. And they thought I locked them in. You could have left the building. I showed you how to get out of it. There's 5 ways to get out of here. I go, we didn't think. And he goes, this is fucked up.
Wow.
This has scared us. And they were like cowering near the door. And I was like, oh my God. And that was scary. And since then I had to tell everybody I had to get out of the building because God knows what would happen with these idiots. Mm. What they would have done. Panicking and stuff. Breaking windows, breaking a door down, because you get fear in you, and it's just you don't realize that. So I had to accompany everybody. Couldn't leave them in
fight or flight at that point.
Yeah. So that was a cool thing too. Other groups came in there. We had I had walked in there. I seen full body apparition, a guy in a brown suit just pointing. That was cool, but I couldn't. I had a camera in my hand. I had my phone in the other hand, mm-hmm. and I wish you had a camera. That's what went through my mind, to take a picture, not to think, hey, idiot, use the 2 camera devices in your hand.
Yeah.
You don't think. So you miss things. It doesn't happen on cue.
Right.
It's just you're part of the experience, and, it was cool. We had the Vault of Horror in there, and he went in there doubtful going in there. He's proving things, and he went in one of the hallways and came running out like a little girl. Let's get out of here. Run, run, run. And a shadow was walking down the stairs after him. And he goes, I've never seen anything. Usually it's like I joke with it. And he goes, this is fucked up. And It was kind of cool to see that stuff. And he had to go and prove to his listeners and stuff in his podcast. He goes, yeah, what I saw. It's like, wow, it's fucked up.
Shit.
So it's an active place. Very active place. Lights, everything. You name it. It basically happens in there. It's 18 different spirits. We had a guy who got killed in the Clark Hotel next door, Elliot, in the elevator shaft. He was working on the elevator, killed him, one of the first elevators. Mm-hmm. So he told us, the guy said, Elliot, my name is Elliot, and they killed me. How'd you die? And he goes, elevator. I go, wow, that's pretty, but there's no elevator in this building. Right across, 30 feet across the alleyway, which used to be 4th Street, was the elevator shaft. So he comes in strong. And people, if you stand outside, you can get the spirits in the hall, in the alleyway. You can get them outside. You can get them on Elizabeth Street. They are around. It's just weird. I mean, there are folklores and stuff that you can't prove anything.
Yeah.
I did talk to a dancing lady, I did speak to a dancer who was in her youth. She was like 90. She passed away. She was like 90-something years old. And she actually was one of the dancers at the Opera House, and I got to talk to her. She told me all about Hetty, the green lady.
So she knew Hetty?
She knew her.
Oh, wow.
She was, just when she started, she was on her way out. And she go, yeah, she used to watch us, and like a den mother kind of thing. And you couldn't do anything. And it was a vaudeville. You were dancing girls, and she showed us how you would show more skin in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. The businessman special. So they would have all the food was raise the price of all the food and drink, and you went and saw a show in the afternoon. That's when you saw the dancing girls who'd maybe show some skin.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Nighttime or in the afternoon, you saw a movie. Saturday was matinees, you saw a movie. The early movies, Birth of a Nation, or they just show Buffalo Stampede, or just film. Oh, film was new. Movies were new, so you saw that shit. But that's it. It was one of those things. It was a multifunctional place. I had other people do work in the place, and they saw a woman in white, the white lady, walking around down City Hall. I've never seen it, but it's funny watching this guy's a police officer coming out. I ain't going to that fucking place. I'm going to that. Why? The lady in white came out. And he go, what are you talking? Never seen a lady in white. He saw the white lady.
Yeah.
And one of the last people I had in there, white lady never spoke. This woman sat there. This same woman who got Andy the ghost Andy running up and down the stairs. Mm-hmm. They just went, I didn't believe him. And so I'm going to go sit here. Oh, the little boy's running around. I don't hear anything. I don't know. We're sitting there. And she got him on video coming down and down the thing. And you heard a couple of footsteps, so I couldn't account for that. I didn't, are you doing that? Who's somebody tapping their feet? We don't know. So she has that on video. And then she goes like this. She goes, I think the white lady's ready to talk. Hey, white lady, the lady in white, can you say hi? And you hear it out loud, hi! And I go, holy, the most clear hi, and just like you and I were talking, somebody saying, hi!
Yeah.
And that's all she said. I go, oh my God, did you do that? I go, no, there's only 3 of us in the theater. And we didn't have that kind of voice. But you got on tape on there. It's online somewhere. I got to find that. But there's so much evidence. All the people, what happens is you get these ghost groups in there, so many groups in there, they don't share or they keep it as their exclusives, as their prizes.
Yeah, they keep it as like files and stuff. They don't even want to release it.
And it's their prize. Excuse me. So you'll have this is my prize position. I got an EVP from the Opera House.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you share it? It partially belongs to us because, I don't mind. I'll give you credit for it. But it just doesn't work that way. They just keep it. The guy, that guy Bob at the pool place that caught the walking guys. Oh, I'm going to put on a TV show, Ghost Hunters, Paranormal File, Fact or Fake. They're all going to save it for production.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Ghost Hunter, you go, why didn't you put anything on there? And he goes, because if we put everything on there, we have to follow it up every week with the same thing, and then we lose our credibility. We can't prove that this has actually happened. Now you understand. I see,
episode.
It's like, it's not, you can't have, maybe they'll have a thing, here, Ghost Hunters, this is all the things we actually caught that didn't make the show. Yeah. How do you not put that on a show? You have the most exciting show. But even then, the most exciting show would disappear.
It's true.
You shot your wad, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that was their thing. And I go, I see your point and stuff. And, we're going to come back. They never came back.
Yeah, of course not.
Although I made the commercial. I was on for the new Ghosts when they came back. I made the commercial, They had me talking, so I was able to talk. Okay? Nice. And if you look at there, that Rich DiCarlo is a well-rounded guy. He never said haunted. And I go, yeah, it's true. I never said it was haunted. But is it haunted? No. Do we have haunted houses? Not really. They have activity. What are we doing? Looking at? I don't know. And the Warrens didn't like, Lorraine didn't like what I used to say about there are no experts. You consider an expert? And I go, sorry, but I can't, in my opinion, there are no experts on the field. You can have a parapsychologist, this guy with a PhD who never saw a goddamn thing. Yet I'll believe the little kid that sees the boogeyman in the middle of the night more than I can believe some college professor. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. And I came from that thing. I was the kid that saw the boogeyman, and this shit is scary and this shit is real. What is it? I don't know. And I just happen to be blessed with all this crap on both sides. All sides. Let's just say I'm living life. I'm enjoying life. I'm an open mind. Let's check it out, stick with it, and see what happens. But
and if it's real, it's real. If it's not, well, at least you can play it off as it being real eventually.
I mean, yes. I'm yawning on you. I was up all night. Can any of this stuff be reproduced and you can see it? Yeah,
of course it can.
But I mean, I have witnesses and stuff. That's all I can do. My witnesses saw this, and we did. It is what it is, and I have multiple groups. That's all I can do is bring all the stuff together, and you leave it up to your own mind if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the shit was real. That kept me going in the place for 7-8 years every weekend. So So there was something there. So otherwise, if I just didn't believe it, like I'm not going to go on. I get invited all the time to groups and stuff because they want Rich there. Oh, Rich, you got to come. Rich, you got to come. Rich, join our group. I'm tired of this stuff, and I'm sick of waiting for, did you hear that? Did you hear that? No, if I see something in my travels, if I see something, fantastic. And even the opera house, as wild as it was, I've had maybe 10 or 20 experiences that are beyond unbelievable stuff, and really, really cool stuff that I can't explain.
Stuff that'll never be seen on camera.
In closing, one of the things was the Arts Council used to have a building on the old Spooner House on
the old firehouse
on Caroline Street.
Yep,
old firehouse. And that's the funny thing we set up. Our group, Old School Paranormal, was set up in there. We were going to get an ambulance like Ghostbusters, and it goes to your head. You see. Anyhow, we had a place in there, and as soon as we opened the place up, we just finished painting the place, cleaned it up, new floors, new everything. And hence, when you do something, you get what? You get activity when you redo a place. I didn't think about it then. So I had Connecticut Post, the New Haven Register, and somebody else go through the building with me, and I closed the door on one half of the upstairs unit, and all of a sudden I shut and in closing the door I said, and we hope to be here for 10, 15 years or so, however long we're blessed to have it and stuff, and we'll make it our home. And as soon as I shut the door, we heard a crash and broken glass. Holy shit, what was that? Really loud, really violent. And I look, and there's a window, and it's embedded in the wall. So I'm first thinking, somebody throw a brick to the window, and it made the window come out and stick in the wall? Then I'm looking, all the windows in this side of the room were intact. Where'd this window come from? And it's stuck in the wall. Not the fact that it's jammed in the wall and could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
It actually embedded itself in the wall, like in the sheetrock, like this much. And and the cool thing is I just put the sheetrock in over there.
Huh.
It was like, wow, my new sheetrock has a window in it. And I'm looking, and the window is missing. You had to go around the corner. So whatever the hell that threw the window, took the window out of the frame, walked around the corner, and somehow threw the window across the room and embedded it in the friggin' wall.
Wow.
And the energy to do that had to be incredible. I mean, that's like flying chair or taking a person, throwing a gun. I try to recreate that and throw the window myself. I can only throw the room was like good 50, 60 feet long. I could throw it 20 feet at all my might. I was picking it up and trying to recreate that. I couldn't recreate it.
Wow.
But even then, you had to take the window out and carry it over and then throw it, even if it was 10 feet away. Something had the power to take it out, carry it over, and throw it into the wall. Or however it did it, embedded it.
And you never found out what it was?
No, I did have people go in there, psychics go in there, and I did talk to old people in the old Spooner House. Mm-hmm. And in the corner, there was something, they always had something wrong with that corner. And it was very violent. And the spirit or something in the corner, they would say, somebody has a videotape. One of the homeless people, they used the, pardon me, incorrect there. One of the homeless people, they said in the men's dormitory used to be on that side, and they used to have, one guy has the shadows fighting in that corner, dark shadows. And he goes, yeah, we don't want to stay at night in this part because you want to fall asleep early, because about middle of the night, these figures are coming between the bunks and like they're fighting. And I had a psychic, there's a fight going on here.
Huh.
And it was just weird. I mean, I don't know. We never followed through on that. That was it. But that violent thing, it was pretty freaky and stuff. Then we found out somebody did die there in a wintertime cold situation. They brought him in, put him in a bunk, and passed away and stuff. A nurse passed away, but not in the place. So we did have connections in there. But that was very active. But that was the most violent thing I've ever seen was that.
Wow. Opera
House, they thrown things. There was things being tossed. Yes. We had a room with a bunch of 10, 20 people, and they were doing it local, the news crew. Mm-hmm. And we were getting hit with old dimes. Old-fashioned Mercury dimes. The hell are old Mercury? Where do you get old Mercury dimes? 3 or 4 Mercury dimes were being tossed around. We put them in a certain spot, and they'd be thrown at us in another spot. They'd move. How do you do that? Who's doing this? And we're in the chamber, and the thing hits the wall. I go, there's a dime. The dime. Friggin' done, the dime. Another one. Not the same one, different year. But it was just cool.
That's
Mercury dimes. But it's what it is, God only knows. We don't know. What are we playing with? I don't know. You know, it's nature. It's another side of nature we don't know about. So.
Well, I guess we will never know.
No.
Sometimes the best thing to do is just to leave it alone.
Leave it alone,
So-
and then or investigate and live with it.
But Rich, I want to thank you for being on again. This was very interesting. This is going to be one of the ones that I listen to over and over again.
But you have the links. So I'll give you the links and
Give
stuff.
me the links. I'll put them into the description below. Really quick, guys, if you want to learn more about all of this stuff, please, by all means, go on to Facebook. Go and, type in this stuff. Do a little bit of research. Who knows? Maybe you've got something where you live that's got activity and stuff. You never know. But guys, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for listening. Hopefully we'll have Rich on again. I don't know what we'll talk about this time, but it'll be fun. So maybe next time it'll just be bullshit and art. Yeah, so. But guys, I'm Chris with Magician with a Microphone podcast, and I will talk to you guys later.